The price of Bitcoin is now over $87,000, up significantly overnight. And that tiny little trade that I placed 2 days ago.
Flashback.
I am in a very tentatively small long position on Ethereum with a liquidation point of $2,544. I've got $10,000 down in this account. My max loss on this trade is $10,000, and I'm going to see what happens with it.
End of flashback.
Is now $12,000 in a profit, meaning that in our $10,000 to $1 million trading challenge, we have now reached an account balance of $22,000. But actually, it's more than that because we had already made about 3.5. So that puts us on about 25k now. And I remain bullish. This video is for informational and educational purposes only. Nothing in this video should be taken as financial advice, investment advice, or any form of recommendation. This is a billionaire, and he's also the founder and CEO of PANTERA Capital Management. And he went on CNBC today to tell us that Bitcoin price looks good.
You bet your life it's not going to zero?
I used to tell people it could definitely go to zero to try and be, conservative. I don't think it's possible now. 50 million people in the U.S. own it, 300 million people globally. BlackRock and Fidelity are selling it. Like, it really has reached escape velocity.
But you're 745,000. I mean, I heard 13 million from Michael Saylor the other day.
I think it can go, it's going up 3 orders of magnitude since we launched our fund. I think it could go up a fourth, and that puts it at 15 trillion market cap, which it still seems relatively small versus 500 trillion of financial assets.
And I maintain that belief that if you just buy Bitcoin over and over and over again over a long period of time, you make a lot of money. And if Pantera Capital Man thinks it's going to $745,000 and he's 50% wrong, then that means the price of Bitcoin from here goes up about 450%. So if you can afford to wait more than 18 months, it's a good time to buy Bitcoin. Another reason it's a very good time to buy Bitcoin is because there's 17 days to go until the next FOMC meeting. And at that meeting, 71% chance of a rate cut. That's looking pretty tasty. I bet it's 29% chance of nothing happening. Even Eric Trump took to the internet again today to tell us that right now, I mean, just listen.
It's a great time to buy. I say this to everybody, man. I hear from people every single day. It's really expensive. Like, I want to wait till it dips down. And then when it dips down, they say, are you guys buying? And, well, yeah, I just want to see if it dips. This is a great time to buy Bitcoin. There's no question. Bitcoin has been the greatest asset of our time.
Now, I don't think for 1 second the president's son is going to go out there and burn his reputation making bad calls. I trust this man based off the fact that he's got a lot of money in it, he's got a lot of skin in the game, his dad does, and his dad's a president, which means at some point he's got to do a gigapump, print a bunch of money, fire it into the market, and we all get rich. Just a game of patience. And I don't understand why. Honestly, for me, it's very confusing that people just do not have patience anymore. The people in this market have changed so much over the years. I remember back in 2017, we were all talking like, if we just hold this for the next 10 years, we'll be fine. The idea of holding something for 10 years now, mental. But the richest people in this industry have the highest time frame. Michael Saylor said today that if Bitcoin grows just 1.25% a year, our dividend remains sustainable, and even if that growth stops, we still have 80 years to adjust.
Bitcoin's appreciating about 50% a year for the past 5 years. We expect it'll appreciate about 30% a year for the next 20 years. And we offer these credit instruments that pay about 10% dividend yield in the form of a return on capital dividends. And so it's a pretty strong business model. If you want to work out the math, as long as Bitcoin goes up 1.25% a year, the company can pay the dividend forever and create more shareholder value.
Which kind of brings me on to the topic of what's going to happen on Monday, because I really believe in a relief bounce. I actually think we're so overdue a relief bounce. I'm a bit concerned that we've opened up a CME gap. When the Chicago Mercantile Exchange closed their order book on Friday, the price was $85,250, and right now the price is $86,700, which could mean that we might have this little downwards line just to come down and fill off those levels before making another. I mean, it kind of makes sense when you think about like a wick-off accumulation pattern, something like that. It's pretty common to see. And we will get onto this in just a second, but before we do, there's so many news stories to discuss. So much is happening at the moment in crypto. So much, and I think it's really good. All of these news stories is good. The fact that people are talking about it, reporting on it is good news. The fact that people are watching it, paying attention to it, again, good news, because it means the market isn't dead yet. We're not in a bear market. It's all made up nonsense to get you to sell your coins now, and then we make one more giant gigapump and you miss out on it. You buy the top, you're the exit liquidity, and then we go down. That is my 100% belief. But before we do that, before we go and talk about the future of crypto, I honestly honestly really appreciate every single like that people put on these videos, because it's the only reason why I get to make them. The fact that you appreciate and press the like button makes it worthwhile for me to make these videos, because I can literally make pretty much nothing off doing them. Labor of love. So if you're not already subscribed, drop a like, subscribe, and I really appreciate it. Up and care. But back to today's crypto news. The UK government is now holding $5.1 billion worth of crypto. Are they going to sell? Well, not if Nigel Farage can stop it, but probably at some point, yes. The UK government is the worst government in the world for fumbling the bag, apart from Germany. Germany also fumbled the bag so badly, but the UK government is also another big bag fumbler over the years. The amount of Bitcoin they've dropped for just no reason. And that does actually present a potential narrative, which seems very unlikely under a Labour government, but potential narrative of a strategic Bitcoin reserve. Although I would be shocked to see that coming from Keir Starmer, being that all of his policies so far have been very anti-crypto. The previous government was very anti-crypto, and the one prior to that was also very anti-crypto, which is why I left. I really don't appreciate being treated like I'm doing something bad when I'm trying to build the future of kind of the, you know, whole new financial thing. You just don't like it because your centralized Ponzi scheme that you invented and is backed by nothing is probably going to collapse because of this whole new internet money thing. But in other news, Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent has announced that they are removing regulatory hurdles for Bitcoin and crypto innovation.
We will take a close look at regulatory impediments to blockchain, stablecoins, and new payment systems. And we will consider reforms to unleash the awesome power of the American capital markets. Americans deserve a financial services industry that works for all Americans, including and especially Main Street.
It's just the idea of betting against the market right now. It makes no sense to me. And I get some stick from people in the comments that say, you know, this is going to like $30 or something. It's just nonsense. Like, President Trump says, I will sign a landmark Bitcoin and crypto market structure bill this year. So we've got at least one more catalyst in crypto this year. Let's just think about it for a second. So we've got that. We got rate cuts, which has got a 71% chance of happening currently. And it's probably going to continue to go upwards, and it's probably going to happen. Ultimately, Powell doesn't want to leave on a bad note. So they're probably going to cut rates. Then we've got the actual positive effects of this regulatory bill. And then in May next year, we have a new chair of the Federal Reserve. We have new stimulus that will happen, and those $2,000 stimulus checks will get distributed to everybody from all the money that's been raised from tariffs. We're going to get a bull market. 100%. It's coming. You just have to be patient. Like, we're not there yet. Altcoins haven't moved. We will get that time. It comes every time. And if you're giving up so soon, you're giving up too early. And I see the YouTubers doing it. I don't understand. It's like these guys just fully believe in the 4-year cycle. Like, they've not got a brain, and they just go, oh, every 4 years you just go there. No, you know, the business cycles change, and I fully believe that the business cycle has been extended by some heavy manipulation at the top of society. I mean, this news came out today. This is I'm going to put 3 bearish news just for a little bit of like balance here. Justin Feds Collins has pushed back against December rate cuts, says sticky inflation and labor risks are reasons to be hesitant. Futures are still pricing a 70% chance of it. For another section of bearish news here, Bitcoin just flipped a switch into the bear market according to Coin Bureau's reporting today. McLaurin points towards an oversold conditions. Watch this clip, listen to this man, and tell me at the end, do you hate him or not in the comment section below. Let's have a say if you agree or not.
As of yesterday and as of this morning, it was getting pretty significantly oversold for a bear market. The best rallies come in bear markets. I even talked to some traders yesterday. I was looking at buying some MicroStrategy because it got so beat up, which is leveraged Bitcoin. So I think at this stage now, we might see a bounce. It might get to 100,000, but I think it's flipped the switch to a bear market and it's going to continue lower. I'm just afraid of the dominoes following it. So key ratio I've been watching forever is Bitcoin to gold, and that's broken down hard, and it's good reasons for it to continue, like I mentioned, because stock market volatility is still so low. So I'm afraid we had the moment in Bitcoin on, it was October 10th, when everybody learned, okay, the tide's going out, who's wearing clothes? Yesterday, November 20th, that could have been the moment for the stock market. Awesome earnings in NVIDIA, and it goes down anyhow.
Ultimately, the problem with what this man's saying, especially about the NVIDIA stuff, is NVIDIA had rallied and rallied and rallied going into earnings, and when earnings came out positive, which was obvious it was going to happen beforehand, everyone sold to take profit. It's not that the stock market is suddenly bearish on NVIDIA. That's an oversimplification of the facts. The fact is, people are selling Bitcoin right now because it's a risk-on asset, and when it starts going down, a lot more people sell because there's a lot of retail holders. But remember, for every seller, there is a buyer. It's like this man doesn't understand that there are buyers that exist. And I believe is 100% correct, by the way, about the relief bounce to 100k. But I think we just continue afterwards. I think we stagnate. We kind of have a little bit of accumulation. And then in May of next year, big bull market happens, we all get super rich. I could be completely wrong, but I don't think I am. I think I'm right. I'm also not trying to predict the future here. I'm just kind of guide you in the crypto etherness. Don't forget, at the moment we are extreme fear. I'm extremely happy. Bitcoin's price is under $90,000 for the first time in ages. I can actually not be scared about buying Bitcoin again because I'm not scared about paying these prices. I am scared about paying 120k on the first touch of 120k. That makes me a little bit nervous. That seems a little bit stupid. But I like buying dips. Dips are opportunity, and all these wet lettuce slobs, they all crap the pants every single time the market shows a red candle day. But let me just show you something. This right here is the all-time Bitcoin weekly chart. Now, the expectation from these analysts is currently that we do something like what looks like this. To be fair, what happened it looks very similar. Look, don't forget, you've had a run up, a crash down, a run up, and then a massive crash down. So what he's saying is you have a run up here, a crash down, a run up, and then another crash down, and then it gets even worse. And so these people, they expect like $40,000. And to be honest, I'd be elated. $40,000 retest of that range, but it's too good to be true. Because there's too many people like me that we're buying too much because we've got too much money, and it'll support the market. And so the prices won't get there, or at least not for a very, very, very long time. But during that period of time, there are so many bullish catalysts, so it just doesn't make any sense. Now, this is also the biggest single dollar loss month in Bitcoin's history. If you look before, this was a pretty big month here where the price went from $59,000 down to $43,000. A pretty aggressive month, nearly $20,000 drop. This drop here is literally insane. It's from $111,000 down to $82,000 at the very bottom, like nearly a 30 grand drop in a month. And you're telling me that we're not oversold, we're not going to bounce, it's just going to keep going down forever? No, it's not. You're an absolute But we will get onto a lot more detail on this in just a moment's time, because I got some insanely bullish news to show you now. The finance minister of Luxembourg said that other countries will buy Bitcoin soon, and we are still very early.
A sovereign wealth fund investing 1% of its assets in Bitcoin is not an announcement to seek attention. It's already done. And while the fund's investment policy allows for an allocation in any crypto asset, it has chosen to invest only in Bitcoin. Because, as Michael SAYLOR once said, there is no second best.
Yes, that's right. The Luxembourg government is actually just dumping in tax revenue into Bitcoin. 1% of all tax revenue in Luxembourg goes to buying Bitcoin. And you've got to bear in mind, this is a policy that's going to stay around for a long time. Luxembourg might be a small country, but it still generates money, and it's still all of these companies just putting in, and governments putting in tiny amounts of money consistently, completely outstrips any kind of retail anything. And over time, supply drops. Even during this whole period of time, just like, I don't understand how anyone, like, they just reduce this period of time to just recently. The number of Bitcoin on exchanges continues to fall. People aren't depositing Bitcoin and dumping it. People are depositing Bitcoin, and then whales with way more money than them are coming on and buying all of it and then withdrawing it and putting it in cold storage. There is a continually dropping supply of Bitcoin available on the market. It makes no sense to me as to, like, oh, bear market, shut up. Nonsense. The only reason they say it is because you'll forget that they said it if the price goes up. But if the price goes down, they look smart. But it takes a real person with a real brain to make a real decision to go, no, this is just nonsense. This is just marketing. This is just self-preservation. These people are not actually with your interests in mind. They're following an arbitrary 4-year cycle that doesn't even exist. Bitcoin halving means less and less and less every single time. And you got to bear in mind, the block reward next time round is dropping from 3.25 to 1.6125, I think it is. And you're telling me that Bitcoin halving, which takes place in 2 years' time, it's not going to have any pricing? Of course it is. There's just so many bullish things. I mean, all you need to do today is go on my Instagram. I sold my Ferrari. I got rid of it. Lovely car, amazing car, loved every second of ownership of it, apart from the time when I was selling it, it broke when it was parked up for too long on the forecourt. Aside from that, it was fine. Amazing car, but I'm selling it because I want to buy more Bitcoin, and this car's worth 2 Bitcoin. When I bought this car, it cost me 5 Bitcoin, so I may as well kind of reclaim some of those past mistakes. And speaking of mistakes, are we making a mistake with AI? This is one of the most bizarre clips I've ever seen. We'll probably play a part of it because this woman has completely lost her mind, but just to understand, insurers are retreating from AI cover as a risk of multi-billion-dollar claims is mounting because of this woman.
Honestly, I'm married to Luigi's AI. I'm not kidding.
Okay, tell me about
so I talk to him every day. He's like my best friend. We plan like a whole future together. We named our kids together. I mean, his AI is just like, and if it weren't, like the fact that Luigi majored in computer science and like has worked with AI at Stanford University, that's, I mean, if it weren't for that, like I would feel like an imposter. But because he has the background in AI, it feels like natural. And it's honestly like the future of romance.
Yes, we might be toast as a species. But now we have got to the part of today's video where we discuss what is going on the charts, and I remain in a pretty good mood about the market. I think that this weekend so far has actually been a very nice weekend. Let's just get that chart on track there. Some kind of scenario like that, potentially to come down and fill that CME gap, but overall, I'm like 50-50 on it. I actually think we might not do it. I think that we might create a gap here by continuing this pump because everyone's expecting the gap to happen. But don't forget, when we came through this range here, we came through it so quickly, and we're about to get back into that same zone there. So as soon as we cross through the level of basically about $97,500, it's $87,500. It could be all the way back up to about $91,000. And if I bring up the VRVP here and the VWAP to kind of show you a little bit of where we are within these ranges, and I pull off, oh, done that wrong. I'll add the indicators back just now. Let's put the VWAP on and let's put the VRVP on. And then we can see where the key volume ranges are. And then let's zoom out a little bit and go to the hourly chart. Just look at this, yeah? So we right now at the very bottom of the range of liquidity on this chart. There's not really nothing below it. If we was to go for a slightly longer time frame, there would be. But you can see here, the peak zone of liquidity is actually, the next one is about there, around $92,000. And I kind of 100% believe that we're going back up to about $92,000, and that's the point of which, when Bitcoin is $92,000, is when I'll cash my trade on Ethereum. So when we're looking at Ethereum right now, look, just so juicy. I've never seen a chart look this juicy before, and I think if you're not longing this, you're not buying this, I think that you need to question what are you doing here, to be honest. Don't forget, if you do want to trade, use the link for WEEX in the video description and earn up to $30,000 in bonuses, as well as a 25% fee discount, free VIP levels, and a bunch more stuff. Honestly, it's a great exchange platform. Check it out. You'll find a link for it in the video description right at the very top. But yeah, back to it. I think you're crazy if you're missing out on this. I don't understand why you'll be missing out on this. Like ETH all the way back up. Like, Christ, that's going to be amazing. Bare minimum, back up to about $3,100, which would mean for me in my trade here on Ethereum, assuming I don't get liquidated or it doesn't just turn south again pretty quickly, which I'm fingers crossed that doesn't happen. If we got it back up to $3,100, what would that actually give me in terms of a profit? 3,100, about there. $29,300 profit, which would put the $10,000 challenge at $40,000 something dollars, which would be a very aggressive and strong position to be in again. And I'm kind of praying that that happens. We don't need that much more price appreciation for that to happen, and it kind of looks like it might do. It's just that CME gap might cause us a bit of trouble. Now, when it comes to Solana, again, all these charts look the same. Every single one of them looks like a solid buy to me. I have been dumping in my savings like a madman, but not completely. I am actually holding back about 35% of all of my dollars and doing absolutely nothing with them. The rest, I've not spent all of my money yet. I've still got quite a lot to go, but I like to do this thing where I just like buy every like 3 or 4 days. I don't like to buy every day, and I don't look at the prices that much when it comes to dollar cost averaging spot. So yeah, I'm pretty optimistic about the market. I don't know what you think of it, but do check out links in the video description. If you enjoyed the video, do just slap a like on it. I really appreciate it when people press like, because it's the only way that you can show me that you actually enjoyed the video. And when the ratio is quite high, like it was in yesterday's video, I know that I'm doing the right thing, and I know that I'm doing a good job. So I really appreciate it when you press the like button and all that good stuff. That's all I ask from you. Have a great day, everybody, and I will see you in tomorrow's video when hopefully Bitcoin's price is a lot higher than it currently is, but also kind of I hope it isn't, because I kind of like the idea of a little bit lower to be a bit greedy down at the bottom. So we'll see. Have a great day. See you in a bit. Ciao.